Hello everyone, we're here with a new edition of the Alpha Build with Avacyn, Guardian Angel, and look at this beautiful woman. She has put in so much work for us. She's been, just the rock that this deck has been she's been the base of what this whole thing has been built around. She's been our sole win condition, and yes, some of the other girls have been helping out, but she's just been the de facto. She's going to get us there, put our faith in Avacyn, do everything we can to protect and trust and support her. And this week is going to be no different. We're actually kind of doubling down, maybe not doubling down, but we're going a little further into the aid Avacyn however we can with some of the cards that we got today from our second double whammy of the month, Planeshift and Apocalypse. So this will wrap up a multicolor themed block that didn't really have a whole lot for mono white color, for just monocolored players in general, especially ones playing a very odd style of mono white for this day and age. If there's anything I've learned from watching from the alpha build so far, it's that this Avacyn Guardian Angel is a card ahead of her time. Voltron doesn't really come around as kind of a viable thing for a while yet. You know, we have all these different auras that do pump up a single card like Imperial Armor, Sarah's Embrace, Divine Transformation, but those are very few and far in between. You know, at this point in time, white is very much focused around, the army color, going wide, making tactical decisions and stuff like that. That with the on attack, tap creatures down, tapping other things down, overrun effects, and it rewards you for going the white weenie route. They're not really for going tall or going into a single card. But we're making do with what we have, and Avacyn's actually managed to get together a very motley crew here. We're looking at Atalia and Rhea joining in recently, but they joined this Warrior Angel. Did I say I was going to call her Rose? Yeah, I'm going to call her Rose because she's got that red hair. Reminds me a little bit of someone. So we got like Rose here, we've got Opal and Addie's over here. There she is, there's Addie. You've still got Radiant and Sarah. She's got her royal guards and variant bodyguards supporting her, and then we've also got just all the other stuff too. Like she's got her mom here, Mother Runes. Just so many different ways that this deck is built around protecting Avacyn. Kind of giving us that defense too, so that she can support us. And it's very give and take. If we can protect Avacyn, then she can protect us from just about anything. So that really feeds into just a couple of the cards that can here. Because we only have like 4 cards that go in out of 2 sets. That's not that good. We got some cards like Orm's Chant that, they're going into the maybe board and the watch later. Because Orm's Chant doesn't really do a whole lot for us until we can get access to the Isochron Scepter. Kind of the same with Aura Blast, which is the 2-mana destroy enchantment. And you get to draw a card. So it turns into a pseudo draw engine too. For us, though, right now in this point in time, we're only really looking at the 4 cards. Let's go ahead and get into that. On that note of trying to protect Avacyn, we're adding in another point of protection. This was a surprisingly expensive card. It's a little over $5-6. Standard Bearer. It's a 2-mana 1/1 human flag bearer. While choosing targets as part of casting a spell or activating an ability, your opponents must choose at least 1 flag bearer on the battlefield if able. So, interesting way to get around just removal, stuff like that. The fact that we can actually get her back with some of the revival spells. She's actually a decent partner to go with Rhea, because Rhea can keep bringing her back. They can try and one-shot Avacyn with like a Doomblade or Beast Within, stuff like that, which unfortunately we've had to deal with at times. And most of our ways to protect Avacyn in response to that has been Mother of Runes, Ward of Lights, Cho'Ma's Blessing, or trying preventing it with Flickering Ward. But no, this Standard Bearer is surprisingly neat. I wasn't really super high on it until I was doing the review, and I was like, well, the thing that Standard Bearer has an advantage on over something like Mother of Runes is that Mom has to wait a turn before she comes online, which means there's a whole turn that, the Mom is vulnerable, Avacyn's vulnerable. But with the Standard Bearer, she comes down and she's doing her thing. She's going to protect Avacyn from target removal, which is really what Mom is doing too. She also Standard Bearer also just has the random interaction of potentially stealing auras. People can't play a Rancor or any of the other auras without choosing her as one of the targets. So she's just a magnet. She's literally a giant magnet for anything that targets. Because remember, abilities, just spells, anything and everything, and and it's only affecting our opponents, not us. So Avacyn is free to go around and protect everyone else, and the Staring Bearer will go ahead and just attract everything else. I'm really interested in seeing how this messes things up for some people. Yeah, because I remember the Atraxa player from last time, they were using that Johnny, and the Johnny would theoretically be forced to target this. I don't know if they would actually end up using that ability. They'd probably do the correct thing and shift down a Johnny to put counters on all their creatures so that Atraxa can start building up that way. But yeah, be pretty good. Star Compass is actually just here because it's kind of a second Marble Diamond. And it's not something I expect to stick around, but we've been having success with Mana Rocks to help produce colored mana early on. But the Worn Power Stone has actually been helping with our tempo because it does come down 3, it does make 2. So that's the right amount to help get Avacyn out since she only needs 2 colorless. Thorium Dynamo similarly has been helping out with the bigger Avacyn turns because she does eat so much mana to get that limit break off. So the Thorium Dynamo has been working. I could potentially cut in the future, but we do eat a lot of mana. Let's see. Low-key, though. Oath of the Lieges. Week in and week out, this card just proves to be an all-star. Love it. So we have 2 other cards going in here. One of the other things that we can use to help out Avacyn is Aurora Griffin. He's a 2/2 flyer for 4, so he's not really big, but he does fly, so that helps his offensive abilities. But he's here because we can pay a white to make target permanent white until end of turn. So kind of the same frame as Distorting Lens. The idea that we can manipulate the color of things to make it easier for Avacyn to protect us from them. And that's a huge boon in the Griffin's favor. Now, I want to have the Griffin and the Distorting Lens because that's a very important effect to be able to give Avacyn. Be able to save us from the robots and the Eldrazi and stuff like that. That's actually really important to making Avacyn work. So I'm willing to go towards some redundancies there. Otherwise, potentially, you could cut out the Griffin for the Distorting Lens for the Griffin, because the Griffin does go on a stick. You can get that stick back. It costs a white to do it, as opposed to just tapping, but with this one, you can do it multiple times in a turn. So it'll be very interesting to see just how this plays with Avacyn. See if she has her own pet Griffin, actually. It's pretty cool. And then finally, Voice of All. So with the voice, she comes in. She's a 2/2 flyer for 4, so just like the Aurora Griffin, she's not really that much bigger. But she can take the Aurora Griffin in a fight, because when she enters the battlefield, you choose a color, and then she gets protection from that chosen color. I like this in the vein that I liked all the other voices. The issue was those ones are really nichey, because if you don't match up with the colors at all, they're just 2/2 flyers for 4, and that's pretty bad. However, a 2/2 flyer for 4 that can dodge removal, it can sneak past blockers and hit planeswalkers and stuff like that. It can hold off giant dragons and other stuff. We've seen one of the low-key things that I really enjoy about Karma Guide is the protection from black. Because you do get those surprise moments where people forget that she has protection from black, and they try and swing like their giant demon in, and she just holds them off. I'm kind of expecting something along the lines for Voice of All, only Voice of All can protect us from a lot more with her flexibility. It's kind of, in a way, she doubles down on that protect us from Avacyn. I do like that offensive capability, though. So, looking forward to seeing what Voice of All does. And that about does it. Not a whole lot to talk about, so we'll go ahead and go straight into the games.